Assalamu alaikum everyone, students. So today we are going to start with our chapter Human Nutrition. First we will see what do you mean by nutrition. According to World Health Organization, that is WHO, they defines the nutrition as the intake of food considered in relation to the body's dietary needs. Okay? When we take any of the food inside it, and that should be considered in relation to the body's dietary needs, that is called as what? The nutrition. The term nutrition includes the process like different life processes are involved in this nutrition process, like ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion. These are the 5 different life processes are there, which all are included in the nutrition process. Food provides energy and organic material for growth and tissue repair. Vitamins and minerals are also required in small quantities for nutrition. The food that is consumed needs to be processed before it is utilized. So all it comes in the process that is called as what? Nutrition. So now we are going to start with our first, that is digestion. Digestion is defined as the process by which the complex, non-diffusible and non-absorbable food substances are converted into simple, diffusible and assimilable substances. Okay. Now I'll explain you this whole statement of the digestion. Here, what they are saying that digestion is defined as a process by which complex food, non-diffusible. Now, what do you mean by complex food? See, basically the food what we eat, like dal, rice, roti, or whatever the food what we eat, any of the veggies or any of the non-veg, whatever we eat, they all are the combination. Our food, they all are the combinations of carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, waters and fibers. They all are the food what we have, they all are the combinations of all these things what I have said right now, like carbohydrate, carbs, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, water and fibers in adequate amounts. Okay, and they all are present in the complex form. For example, dal. In dal, proteins are present. Dal is a rich source of proteins. So proteins, they are present in the complex form, and this protein has to be broken down into the simpler form. So proteins are made up of amino acids. The simpler form of proteins are what? Amino acid. So the dal what we are eating in our daily life, that has to be broken down into the simpler form. The proteins which are present in the dal, they have to be broken down into the simpler form, into the amino acid form. Likewise, rice. In rice, it's a full source of, it is the combination and a very good amount, a good source of carbohydrate. Okay, so carbohydrate, it is a complex compound and it is made up of sugars. Basically, they are made up of sugars. They are the carbohydrates are made up of n numbers of sugars by combining n different types of sugars, like disaccharide, polysaccharides. These are the monosaccharides. These are the different types of the sugars which combine and they form the carbohydrates. Now coming to the fats. Our food which contain the fat, like cream, many more things like oil. All these are the fatty content which contains the fats. Now fats, these are the complex compound. Their simpler form are what? Their simpler form are the fatty acids. N numbers of fatty acids they combine and they form the fats. N numbers of amino acids they combine and they form proteins. And a combination of a bulk amount of all the different type of sugars, different types of the saccharides, they combine and they form the carbs. Likewise, the same is the thing with the vitamins and the minerals. Okay, so when we eat the food, our food, they basically go inside our food in the complex form, and for proper digestion, it has to be get properly similarized. It has to be get properly converted into complex into our food has to be converted from complex into the simpler form. Okay, so this is done by digestion. So digestion is defined as the process by which the complex non-diffusible means, again, carbohydrate, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals, they all are present in the complex form and they cannot be get diffused easily because of their complexity. So it has to be get diffused. Now what do you mean by diffuse? It has to be broken down into smaller particles so that it can be get diffused into the smaller membrane, into a minute and a very thin membrane of the different layers of the cells of our organs or the tissue. So that is called as what? Diffusion or diffusion takes place. Okay, so it has to be get diffused. And non-absorbable food substance. When our food is present in the complex form, they are unabsorbable. So it has to be get converted into the absorbable form. So all this thing like our food has to be get converted from complex to simpler form, from non-diffusible to the diffusible form, from non-absorbable to the absorbable form. All these different forms of our food are converted into its simpler form only with the help of digestion. Okay, and this is called as what? Proper digestion. And here I have explained you the proper definition of the digestion, which is given in front of you in this slide. Now coming to our next term, and that is called as what? Assimilation. We will see what do you mean by assimilation. Assimilation is defined as the process by which protoplasm is synthesized into each cell of the body by utilizing the simple food, because if it remains in the body it becomes toxic to the body. Now we will see what do you mean by this whole statement or definition of the assimilation. It is defined as the process by which protoplasm. What do you mean by protoplasm? Protoplasm means it is a living part of the cell. Protoplasm, it is a living part of the cell which contains nucleus and cytoplasm. Protoplasm is equals to nucleus plus cytoplasm and other different organelles which are present inside the cell. So basically protoplasm is the combination of three things inside the cell. What? The first one is nucleus, cytoplasm and different organelles, means different part of the cell which are present in the cell. All these three parts combine and they make the one word that is called as what? Protoplasm. So here assimilation, here what they are saying, assimilation is defined as the process by which protoplasm is synthesized. So in this process protoplasm is made up in each and every cell of the body by utilizing the simple food. Okay, a simple food is utilized so that protoplasm is made in each cell of the body to avoid the toxicity of the body. If the protoplasm is not synthesized in our body, then it will become toxic to the body. Therefore, protoplasm has to be get synthesized into each cell of the body by utilizing the simple food. Simple food. Now, from where this simple food comes? Just a few minutes later, I just said you that our complex food is broken down into simpler form with the help of the process called as what? Digestion. So this simpler food comes from the digestion process. So this simple food has to be get synthesized, it has to be get used. Okay, it has to be get used it has to be get used by our body. If it is not used, then it will become toxic to our body. How it will be get used? It will be get used by converting it into the form of protoplasm. And when the protoplasm is formed, again this protoplasm, it will be very fruitful for the body. So this is all about the assimilation. I hope you all got it. What do you mean by assimilation? Now, moving on to our next part, we will see to it. We will start with human digestive system. Digestive system of man consists of alimentary canal and associated digestive glands. Digestive system organization. Okay, starting with the digestive system organization. It consists of alimentary canal. Alimentary canal, basically it is a long tubular structure starting from mouth and ending with anus. It starts with mouth and which ends up with the anus. It is about 8 to 10 meters long and consists of following organs. Following organs like mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and rectum. So these are the different organs which are present in the whole alimentary canal. Okay, it starts with the mouth and it's end up with the anus. Basically, alimentary canal, it is a tube within a tube. It is a tube within a tube which is about 8 to 10 meters long, and it is a direct link or path between the organs. It is the direct link between the organs with the alimentary canal. This is all about a short introduction of the alimentary canal. Now we will see the next part of this topic. Starting with the first one, that is mouth. Mouth comprises of upper lip and lower lip. It is also called as oral or buccal cavity. Our mouth is also called as oral or buccal cavity, which is bounded by fleshy lips. Our lips are basically fleshy, which comprises of the upper lip and the lower lip. Its side walls are formed of cheeks, roof is formed by palate, and floor by tongue. I'm repeating it once more. Its side walls are formed by cheeks, roof, that is the upper portion, is formed by the palate, and floor by tongue. It is internally lined by a mucous membrane. It is internally, from inside, it is lined by a mucous membrane. Then next, what else? Salivary glands opens into the buccal cavity. Salivary glands, it opens into the buccal cavity. Basically, buccal cavity comprises of two things, tongue and the teeth. Buccal cavity comprises of tongue and teeth. Now starting with the buccal cavity. Buccal cavity comprises of tongue and teeth. Starting with the first one, that is tongue. It is a muscular fleshy organ and it is roughly triangular in shape. It is roughly triangular in shape. It lies along the floor of the buccal cavity. So basically, tongue is the floor of the buccal cavity. The upper surface of the tongue bears numerous projections called papilla. You can feel by touching your tongue from the upper portion of the tongue, light granular type touching you can feel over there. That granular feeling, it is nothing but it is a projections, and these projections are nothing. They are called, in scientific term, they are called as what? Papilla. In scientific term, these projections are called as what? Papilla. So some papilla bear sensory receptors called taste buds. So these are the sensory receptors which are present on our papilla, or also called as what? Projections, which is called as what? The taste buds. Basically, in general language, we used to say that we have our taste buds on our tongue. So these taste buds, they are present on the papilla, on the projections, on the upper part of our tongue, and they contain the sensory receptors by which we can taste our different types of the taste and flavors of our food. So this is all about the tongue. Now coming to our next topic, that is the teeth. This is also the part of the buccal cavity. Basically, we human beings have 32 number of teeth. We adult, I am repeating it, adult human beings, they have 32 number of teeth. They are present in the buccal cavity of an adult human being. Human dentition is described as thecodont, diphyodont, and heterodont. The human dentition means the word dentition. Dentition means the study of teeth. So human dentition is described as the thecodont, diphodont, and heterodont. Now, why they are called as thecodont? They are called as thecodont type because each tooth is fixed in a separate socket present in a jaw bones by gomphosis type of joint. There is a gomphosis type of joint in each jaw bones which fixes our each tooth in a socket like part, and because of this arrangement of our teeth in the socket like substance with the help of the gomphosis type of joint, it is called as what? Thecodont type of dentition. Okay, now in our whole lifetime we get only two sets of teeth, that is our milk teeth and permanent teeth. This is called diphodont dentition. This is called as what? Diphodont dentition. We have four different types of teeth. We have four different types of teeth, and therefore it is called as what? Heterodont. Hetero means four. Hetero is the scientific word, is the scientific term for the numerics, and it means four. So we have four different types of the teeth. Therefore, they are called heterodont. And what are they? The first type of the teeth, they are called incisors, which is given by capital I. Coming to the next, they are called canines, given by capital C. Then third, premolars, given by capital PM, and molar, given by capital M. So here we have four different types of teeth: incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. Each half of each jaw has two incisors, one canine, two premolars, and three molars. See, we have upper jaw also and lower jaw also. But by seeing only the upper jaw, I am saying you just imagine your upper jaw and take each half. Do the half of each jaw. Then in your each jaw, from the only one part of the upper part, it contains two incisors, one canine, two premolars, and three molars of each jaw. Okay, thus dental formula of adult human being can be represented as, here the formula is given in front of you, that is I 2 by 2. I means incisors. Incisors are 2 on the upper jaw and 2 on the lower jaw. Then canines, 1 on the upper jaw and 1 in the lower jaw. Premolars, 2 on the upper jaw and 2 on the lower jaw. Molars, 3 on the upper jaw and 3 on the lower jaw. This is the dental formula for one side of the jaw, for the both the position means for the upper jaw also and for the lower jaw also. So by calculating all this formula, we can see over here 2. First see on the upper side, 2 plus 1, that is 3, 3 plus 2, that is 5, 5 plus 3, that is 8. 8 number of teeth on the upper side of each jaw, half of the jaw, and 8 number of teeth on the lower portion of the jaw on one side of the jaw. Okay, so by seeing this, we can say 8 into 2, how much? 16. 16 teeth in each jaw. 16 teeth in each jaw, that is equals 32 teeth on both the sides. So this is how the dental formula has been calculated. So this is all about the teeth, and in the figure you can see the different positions of the different types of the teeth are given, like incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. The first premolar, the second premolar, and the canines, first canine, second canine, all you can see in the figure. I hope you all got it. Dentition. Dentition is defined as the study of teeth with respect to their number, arrangement, development, etc. All this is called as what? Dentition. Next is pharynx. Buccal cavity leads to pharynx. Pharynx is a common passage for food and air. Okay? Through pharynx, food also passes and as well as air also passes. Therefore, it is called as, it is a common passage for both food and air. The upper region of pharynx is called trachea. The pharynx opens into the trachea through an opening called glottis. The pharynx, it opens into the trachea through an opening called as what? Glottis. The glottis is guarded by a cartilaginous flap. Cartilaginous means soft bone. I can say the upper portion of the ear. By touching the upper portion of the ear, you can see it is the soft bone. Then by touching the tip of the nose, you can feel it is the soft bone. So these soft bone, they are nothing but these are called as what? Cartilaginous bones. So in the same way, the glottis is guarded by a cartilaginous flap or soft bone flap that is called epiglottis. Now the word epi, whenever the word epi comes, it means above the glottis. Epi means above. So above what? Above glottis. Therefore it is called epiglottis. The glottis is guarded by a cartilaginous flap called as what? Epiglottis. The epiglottis closes during the swallowing action and prevents the entry of food into the trachea. What is the function of epiglottis? It closes during the swallowing action. When we swallow any of the food, then the epiglottis, it will close down and it will prevent the entry of food into the trachea. The lower region of the pharynx is called oropharynx. Oropharynx opens into the esophagus. Therefore, it is called oropharynx. Okay, through gullet. So this is all about the pharynx. Now coming to the next one, that is what? Esophagus. We will see regarding the esophagus. Under this, it is basically about 25 centimeter long. Its functions include, it secretes the mucus, it moves the food from the throat to the stomach using the muscle movement called peristalsis movement. What it do? It moves the food from throat to the stomach. Basically, it is a passage. It is a passage for food from throat to the stomach using the muscle movement, and this muscle movement is called as what? Peristalsis. And this movement is called peristaltic movement. This process is called peristalsis, and this process is called peristalsis, and the movement is called peristaltic movement. If acid from the stomach gets in here, then it is called as what? Heartburn. Okay. Now some other more knowledge regarding the esophagus. That is, the esophagus, it is a thin muscular tube. It lies behind the trachea. It is about 25 centimeter long tube, passes through the neck, central aspect of the rib cage, pierces the diaphragm and joins the stomach. This is basically the histology, and it is lined by the mucus cell. Why it is lined by the mucus cell? Just to make the food more mucus and make it more slippery so that it can easily pass from it can easily pass from the esophagus to the stomach. It can easily pass the food from throat to the stomach. Okay. Then mucus lubricates the passageway of food. Just now I said. Histologically, esophagus is made up of longitudinal and circular muscles. The rhythmic wave of contraction and relaxation of these muscles is called the peristalsis that helps in the passage of food through esophagus. So this is all about the esophagus. And here I'm Tuba Ansari signing off with my today's lecture. Wassalatu wassalam.